What up, everyone? It's me, Trey, and welcome back to another video of my own, my own name. And we have to talk about the 2023 NFL Draft. And we're gonna talk about basically the first 10 picks. All right, with the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select who else? Bryce Young, quarterback out of Alabama. He went to the Panthers, so now my second have to deal with Bryson for the next decade of 10 years or longer. People are gonna be doing him until probably he retires. He's gonna be a Panther probably until he retire anyway. The Bryson is gonna be the next Tom Brady, the next Patrick Mahomes. I bet that he's gonna be the next Patrick Mahomes. We didn't think Mahomes would be what he was, but look at him, two Super Bowls. I didn't even know who Mahomes was until really I didn't really know who he was until 3 years ago. His first his first 2 years, I didn't even know who he was. But then once he made another Super Bowl, that's when I started knowing who he was. And then year after year, 2021, then this year when he won the Super Bowl, I started to know who Mahomes really was. I think Bryce Young is gonna be the next Pat. Is gonna be I think he's gonna be the next Patrick Mahomes. Even though Mahomes only played 5 years, he's gonna be a Patrick Mahomes type of player. He's just gonna be. It's gonna be him and Derek Carr going at it, but Bryson had to go. He had to go that crazy athletic defense, and the same they added some people in the draft. If you didn't see the draft yesterday and today, they drafted some good defensive people. One of the people this is probably the best pick they selected out of the entire draft. Isaiah Defancy, Isaiah Defancy. I think Isaiah Defancy, defensive player out of Notre Dame. He's an absolute beast. This man he played in college for 3 years and he had 31 sacks and he had 31 sacks total in them 3 years. Not each year, but total. He had over 40 or 45 tackles. He didn't have no forced fumble, no interceptions, but he had almost 50 tackles in them 3 years. Had 31 sacks. He That's the most sacks or tackles in Notre Dame's history. In their program history. No player ever done that in Notre Dame history. And he's gonna be coming to the Saints team with all Cam Jordan and Mario Davis. But that's gonna be a pattern you're not gonna want to mess with. And the Saints also added the person from Clemson. He was the second best defender on that team behind number 58, whoever his name was. He really did. He was selected by the Bears for the 10th overall pick. He did another one of them. The player that he didn't be done along with Isaac, the fancy, Terrence Jordan, Lamar Davis. Them four guys weren't in the data. Then you have Tyron Matthew in the backfield. You have Marshall Lattimore, Marcus Maine. You have PJ Williams. You have some other pieces that you also added to the team. Then you had that crazy offense. Well, it'd be something to be working with. I'm excited for Isaiah the fancy. That boy's I seen his highlights. I watched his highlights, and he's an absolute beast. So I'm excited for him. We need people to replace Amaro David and Darren Jordan until one of them two guys are gone. We need somebody who can replace him. And Isaiah the Fancy, the big part to the team that we can always use. Then we also added that guy from Clemson also. So them two guys. And that guy from Clemson, he be averaging over 9.5 sacks a year. So I'm excited for these two young people. I'm dinner down. That's a great job. Them two guys are one heck of defender to use this. And then you have them done with two of the top, most talented rush people in the game, and Amaro Davis and Tanner Jordan, the two were the defenders in Saints history. So it's gonna be something to be reckoned with coming up this year. I'm excited for the Saints. I think we can make the Super Bowl. The NFC is our division so weak anyway, and then the NFC also is very weak too. You only have the Eagles and the 49ers basically the only good teams in that conference, and the Cowboys maybe another team, every other team basically weak. That way you see everybody going to the AFC at this point because the NFC is weak now. You only have a few teams that good anyway. So I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this year. All right, yeah, get back to the draft thing. Um, the Texans, the Cardinals, they had the third overall pick, but they traded that pick to the Texans. And now when I saw this, the Texans, are they really trying to build a team down here? And are they really trying to build a team down here? I think they're trying to build around C.J. Stroud. They don't forget. They also adopted wide receiver from Alabama. They also drafted Derek Steen from LSU. And then like they had drafted the wide receiver from Alabama last year. He was the best he was the best wide receiver for Alabama, obviously. And he was the best wide receiver in the country. And then you drafted Derek Steen from LSU. And now you go and draft C.J. Stroud. And now I'm about to tell you who they drafted on with the third overall pick. The Texans, they selected Will Anderson Jr. Wow. The Texans are building the team. With the people I literally just told you. First you see C.J. Stroud, then you Will Anderson. You already have two, and then you have a wide receiver from Alabama last year. Then you also have Derek Steen, who's already there. The Texans they're building a team, man. I can't say it, no doubt. They might make the playoffs this year. I think they might make the playoffs, but I still think Jacksonville is gonna, it's still the king of the division because obviously, that division gonna be very, very good. Because no true doubt, that division gonna be something to be reckoned with this year. That might be one of the best divisions in the league because you have Trevor Warren, that C.J. Stroud, then also with the fourth overall pick, the Colts they selected Anthony Richardson. So you have Trevor Lawrence with his amazing team in Jacksonville. Then you have the testing with C.J. Stroud, and he have a nice young team built around him after making a move in the draft over the last couple of years. Then you have Anthony Richardson with that amazing defense the Colts have, and they have some nice pieces on offense too with Jonathan Taylor and them pieces. My God, man. Then finally, the Titans. They traded up to the number one overall pick in the second round with a 32 overall pick from the Steelers to get Will Levis from Kentucky, wherever he from Kentucky. I think that was from Kentucky. So that division is gonna be something with them. So all 40 teams had a quarterback for the next decade. Trevor Lawrence was in Jacksonville for the next 10 years of a decade. C.J. Stroud, 10 years. Anthony Richardson for the next 10 years of a decade. Then you have Will Levis, who's the future in Tennessee. He's gonna be there for the next decade. So that division is gonna be it's gonna be one of the top three most talented divisions in the league. That's one of the top three best divisions to be reckoned with this year. Watch out for that division because you don't know who's gonna come out. That division is one head of a division now with all them quarterbacks. And they all can throw, they all can ball, and they all have a great team built around them. Except for the Titan part. Anthony Richardson have a great team around him. C.J. Stroud have a nice young team built around him. Trevor Lawrence have a great team down in Jacksonville, but Will Levis, the team he have down there in Tennessee, I don't know about that. They don't have the greatest team down there in Tennessee because their team is all whacked up. They do have pieces down there still, but they got rid of A.J. Brown last year. Then they're talking about getting rid of Derrick Henry. So the team is really basically going into a rebuild, but we'll see what happens. And also, I'll tell you some other people that happened. The Eagles, my arch nemesis, I really don't like that team, but they selected Jalen Carter. They also selected another guy from Georgia with 30 overall pick. The Seahawks, they selected this cornerback from CCU, whatever, I don't know where he's from, but he's a very talented player. The Falcons, they selected Bijan Robinson. The Seahawks also selected with a 20 overall pick. Selected Smith, Susha, whatever. I really don't know his name, but Jason. Yeah, but he's from Ohio State. I have to look back up on it, but they're good. So let me know in the comment section who you think had the best draft. I think I'm going with my team. I love my Saints. I think they had the best draft. Texans, give them credit. The draft. The Eagles, I'll give them a C plus. I'll give them a C plus. They really select nobody else after them two people anyway. So I'll give them a C plus. I think we did a good job. We had a lot of draft picks and we selected a lot of the people, especially the first two picks we had. Very good. I think we had the best draft. Second best, Texans. Third best, Philly. Those are and fourth best, Seattle. And fifth best and last, I'm done with Tennessee. So those are the five teams who had the best draft out of out of anybody. Well, no, Panthers are number 5. They selected Bryce Young. They also traded the number 1 overall pick to the Bears back about a month or so back. So those are the 5 teams who had the best draft out of anybody. The Saints were top 5 that they had selected a lot of the people, especially with them first 2 picks they had. Did them 2 great defensive players for the next 10 years of a decade. Them 2 that are going to be there for the next decade. And now you have 2 future players that are going to be replacing Cam Jordan and Amari Day once they retire. And they're already going to be there for 2, and they're already going to be there for 2 years with them 2 guys. So, hey, watch out for the Saints. Don't mess with them boys. That defense is already a stud, and now they added more pieces. Don't mess with them. Also, if you didn't see the NBA yesterday, it was a one heck of a ride, but it was really. I don't know what happened, but let's start with the Lakers. That game was a blowout. I mean, a blowout. Absolutely a blowout. The Lakers absolutely destroy Memphis. 125-85. A 40-point blowout. And Russell and AD and LeBron they didn't even have to go off. Russell did it for him. 31 points from the for Russell. But Morant had a tough night. He had 12 points. He was a tough night for him in the closeout game. But I told you, man, Lakers were doing home and they was going to close that series out. But Bron and AD were not going to do no Game 7. Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. They haven't gone to game. They have not gone not one Game 7 in the years they played with each other in the playoffs. That's how good they are. And the Warriors, they disappointed me, man. The Warriors absolutely disappointed me, man. The Warriors disappointed me. The Warriors played one of the worst games I ever seen them play at home. They're one of the worst games I ever seen them play at home in a very long time. Maybe ever. So you never will see the Warriors play that bad at home. The Warriors had never played that bad at home all year. It will make them play that bad in a holdout game when they can move on to the next round to play LA. Like, come on, you already know LA was gonna win that game, and we all expected the Warriors to win that game as well. What Sacramento somehow we all know anything can happen. You can't just guarantee, but you really expect the Warriors to lose that game, especially if it's a holdout game. If I'll say it again. If the Warriors were down 3-2, they would have blown their tail out. But since they were up 3-2, I still thought they would have won. It probably would have been a very close game, but I thought they would have still won. But again, man, you really would thought the Warriors were gonna lose at home. I bet everybody around the world, except for Sacramento team fans, the Warriors were gonna lose at home. Nobody expected that to happen, except for maybe Sacramento team fan. Maybe Sacramento team fan maybe expected that to happen too. I probably think Sacramento team fan probably expect them to lose that game. They already lost 3 games in a row, even the one at home, and then they're going back on the road. You expect the Warriors to win, but again, didn't happen. So I don't know what's wrong. And now Sacramento at home, I think they're gonna win the series at this point. Since the Warriors blew a golden opportunity to hold the series out at home in front of their home fans, I believe Sacramento is gonna win the series. I believe Sacramento is going to beat Golden State tomorrow afternoon down in Sacramento. And I believe it's going to be them playing LA next week. That's how I have it done. Because if the Warriors next hold that series out at home, and what make you think they're going to go on the road and do it? When you know they're terrible on the when you know they're terrible on the road. What made you think the Warriors are going to go on the road and beat them after they did blow a golden opportunity at home? And you know they're terrible on the road. And they already lost the first 2 games on the road. So the Warriors are just not, I don't see them winning on the road. I know they won game 5, but that was one game. Y'all remember they lost the first 2 games on the road. And then they had to come back to win 2 games at home. And then they had a golden opportunity to win in game 6, but they blew it. So now, with all that being said, I believe Sacramento, for the last time, they're going to beat Golden State tomorrow afternoon in Sacramento and play LA in the second round. It's just, I don't know. The Warriors, I just don't know what happened to them. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, give the video thumbs up. And we'll see you next time. And also the Warriors and Denver game is on right now. Denver and Phoenix is on right now. That second round is going to be one heck of a ride as well.